Alright, so gonna try to make a Hollywood vanity mirror for my sister. I had some extra lights and mirrors from when we moved, and then when we moved into our new house, we removed all these old, cheap construction contractor grade lights. So I got a bunch of those from my bathrooms, which I'm gonna put into the frame of this mirror. And this mirror was actually from our old house. It was in one of the closets and it's been sitting in the garage. So I took it apart and gonna attempt to put some lights in it. It's just a cheap mirror that I think it's like a fiberglass material or some kind of composite plastic. I already started by taking off all the paper and cardboard that normally comes on the back of these, which is this paper and staples and cardboard. Well, my plan is going to drill the holes out for all the bob sockets with the hole saw, and then get some more of this like dense cardboard from Home Depot. I don't know the exact name, but I'll find out what the name is when I go buy some. Get a sheet of that and put that back on the back to cover all the electrical wiring and bulb sockets. So we'll see how this turns out. Alright, so the next step, I took apart the light and measured the center of the bulb socket, and I marked out on the frame the center of all the bulb sockets. So I started to drill a pilot hole for all the bulb sockets, and then once I get all the pilot holes drilled, I will then drill the hole for the bulb socket to come through and just make sure they're all even and aligned straight. Once I get that done, I think what I'm going to do is put a backboard on the back side and drill the metal plates to that backboard and then fasten the backboard to the back of the mirror. Alright, so I started drilling a couple of the holes for the bulb sockets, and I used a 1.5" hole saw, and the test fit so far it actually fits pretty nice in there. So gonna continue drilling all the holes with the hole saw, and then once I get that done, I will build a little frame to give me a little bit more room for my wires behind the mirror, and then on top of that, a little frame, which is going to be just some like 3/4 square wood. Once I get that frame built and the wires tucked in there, then I'll get the some kind of backing board, either MDF or plywood or some kind of thin board to basically be the back and replace for the old cardboard or paper, whatever was back there before. And then I'm going to fasten the whatever these things are, the assembly plates that have the bulb sockets on them that came from the old lights. I'm going to get those put on the backboard and then get it all screwed together. And once it's all screwed, we'll throw some paint on it and see what it looks like. Alright, got all the holes drilled for the bulb sockets. Now the next step is actually going to be to clean up these holes a little bit with the Dremel. Some of them came out pretty clean, and some of them left some little jagged edges like that on the sides. So clean that up and then show you what that looks like finished, and then we'll move on after that. Alright, so I got my frame attached to the mirror. This is the 3/4 inch square hardwood that I picked up from Home Depot. I got all those fastened down. Those are 1.5 inch number 6 screws, and I countersunk those into the wood so that way my board will lay flush on top of it. And then I also threw some staples in it just to give it a little bit more support. I also got my 3/8 MDF board, compressed MDF. That's going to be the backboard, which I've already actually started to assemble the back plates with the bulb housings to them. So I'm just using some number 6 nut and bolts and to fasten those to there. So I'll get all 4 of those mounted up and then test fit it on there, and then once I get it all nice and test fit and make sure they actually line up properly, then we'll start wiring it up. I'm thinking originally I was debating putting in a switch to control the lights and just have it plugged in, just to make it look a little cleaner and not have to see a switch on it. But I think I might put in a switch to be able to turn the bulbs on and off. And then also my fiance gave me the idea of putting in 2 switches, one to control the lights along the top, and then also another switch to control the lights on the side. So gonna have to run to Home Depot or Radio Shack and see if I can find a cheap, nice double throw switch. So that way I can make it have all in one switch, or if I have to just get 2 switches, but preferably we'd just like to have one nice switch to control the lights. So I'll continue on and show you guys the next step. Okay, so I got the power all wired up on all the bulb sockets together. I paralleled the neutrals together, and what I'm going to do is I did end up putting 2 switches in the frame. So the top and then the sides are going to be on their own switch. So the hots from the top and the bottom are going to go to one switch, and then the hot from the 2 sides will go to the other switch. And my neutrals are all just wired together. My ground's tied in. And what I did was I just had a old extension cord. It's just a 3-prong extension cord. I had one of these on the end. So I just cut that off. And that's what I used, just drilled a little hole. I'm going to try to hide the wire in the wall, so that way when it's mounted on the wall, you don't see the electrical cord, and then it will come out under the Vanity. So power's all wired up. I got to wire it into the 2 switches now that are installed. They're just some single pole, single throw brass turn switches. So when you rotate it, it'll make contact and then turn on the light, one for each side, and then either she can leave them both on or leave them both off, and then it'll also be on the outlet tied to the wall switch. So if she wants to just walk in and flip the switch on the wall, it will turn them all on, or she can have independent control depending on how much light she wants. Now I got the all the lights wired to the 2 switches, and I also put some tape over all the wires just to keep them down to the board. And I'm going to put a piece of cardboard over it to go in between the back of the mirror and over all the wiring, just to keep it nice and clean. Next step will now just be to try to tuck all these wires into the channel here in the corner and put the frame on top and then screw it down and give it a test. So I got the frame, the mirror frame on top of the back plane, which was kind of a pain to keep the cardboard in place, and then tuck the wires down here into the corner under the switches, and then also to get all the bulb sockets to come through all the holes. So that may be a two-person thing, but it took maybe 5 minutes. Maybe it would have been a little bit easier if I had a second set of hands to help guide the bulb sockets through, but I got it plugged in, and let's give it a shot and see if it powers on. Alright, so that's good. And then second one. Alright, so the switches are good, wiring's good. Alright, I'll go ahead and now screw the backboard to the square frame, and once I get that all fastened, it's time for some paint. Alright, we got it all assembled. Now it's time to start painting. I got it masked off. The mirror portion of it, I'm gonna put probably another layer of tape, and then put a piece of paper in the middle, and then spray it, and we'll see what this turns out like. Alright, so I got a couple coats of primer on the frame right now, and it's looking pretty good so far. The first coat actually stuck pretty well to the plastic or fiberglass frame, so it's actually looking really good. Glad I put a coat of primer first. And so once the primer coat dries, I'm going to throw another coat on there, and then after the second coat dries, see how it looks, and if it looks good, then I will shoot a coat of gloss white on it. Hopefully put 2 or 3 coats and call it good. So those are the 2 buttons, or switches, sorry, to turn it on. They were the original brass ones, and I didn't think she would like the gold too well, so went in and just sprayed those also. But so far so good. Happy with the results. We'll see what it looks like when get some gloss coats on it. Okay guys, here's the final product. So we got that gloss coat painted on there now. Got the it's just some spray can high gloss white finish with the clear coat added, but it's very shiny, so it looks good. Got it mounted on the wall. It's gonna go up against her, or goes good with her vanity thing that she has here. So let's test it out and see how well this works. These are the 2 switches that we mounted. One of them controls the outside, and the other switch controls the top and the bottom. Alright, so now we got the outside lights, which it's bright enough with just the outside lights. We don't really need the top and bottom, but we'll turn that one on. Alright, now we got all 16 bulbs lit up on here. So it's super bright, probably 20,000 lumens. I don't know how many lumens, but it's really bright. It's probably brighter than she'll ever need it to do makeup. Alright, so that's it. That's the final product. It was a fun project to make, and it was a lot cheaper than her buying the Vanity Hollywood Girl one they sell online. Well, maybe she'll be generous and give me the $400 that one cost. So, if you guys like this video, subscribe to her channel and watch some more makeup videos get done in this mirror.